Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We're going to get back into more Amberlynn Reid content. So we have 4 videos that I will be filming, editing, and posting today. Well, 2 of them have already been pre-filmed, but I just need to edit them and post them. So you're getting 4 videos today, guys. Let's get into it.
Hello, welcome to a new Let's Talk, episode 2. I enjoyed episode 1, so I know I'm going to enjoy this one as well.
I mean, it does make sense. It is your favorite topic, and you're going to do your favorite thing, which is lie and deny.
This is literally like a Q&A on steroids. So we're just gonna hop right into it. So let's get into sweet and sour. This is where I am taking a random YouTube generator comment picker, and I'm gonna be going to my last Let's Talk episode and choosing random comments from there, and then we're gonna read them together. So let's do it. Hot Dog Pasta said, I wouldn't exactly call you clever, ... Cringe, absolutely, but never clever.
I mean, where's the lie, though?
Well, we can agree to disagree.
No, mate, she's absolutely right. You're cringe as hell.
Lena XX575 said,
No, just no.
CSF801 said, it is also giving fatphobic. Like, she thinks being fat is inherently ugly, but we are the ones being fatphobic, ...
That is kind of true. Like, Amber herself did say if she was conventionally thin, she would then be conventionally attractive, which is kind of fatphobic in a way, but at the same time, your level of attractiveness or how you perceive attractiveness doesn't really need to be inherently discriminative as long as you're respectful to the people who are not your types. Now, Amber did say exactly what she meant, she just didn't mean to imply it that way. And it kind of leads to, you know, being the obvious, considering the fact that Amber has admitted multiple times that she refuses to date women that are morbidly obese.
I have always been about body positivity.
Except that's not true, Amber, because you have made fun of many people in the way they look. Beck and Mr. Snowflake are just 2 people that you have made fun of.
One of my celebrity crushes is Tess Holliday. I have been very vocal about that, and she is plus size. She is what people call fat.
Oh, you mean the model who also happens to be a morbidly obese narcissist who conforms to every single beauty standard, even though she says she's against that, except for the one thing that actually takes work, which is not being morbidly obese.
But to me, she is so attractive, literally stunning. I do not think fat is ugly. But for me, I think I'm ugly a lot.
Right. If that's so true, Amber, why do you constantly eye-bang yourself on camera? Because me personally, I don't find myself attractive. I don't do that. Like, you do it way too much for someone who thinks themselves unattractive.
I have a random day here and there where I'm like, ooh, she cute. But besides that, I think I'm ugly. That's a personal problem. That's not about anyone else.
Straight up, Amber, you're full of shit. You are a lie.
K-Lady-Son89 said, I just graduated with my master's and landed my dream job at 36. It's never too late to be who you want to be. That is freaking amazing. Congratulations. And that is like motivation and inspiration for all the people who are in their 30s and they feel like it's too late. Because trust me, I have felt that way multiple times, but you proved that it's not. So congrats.
Dude, even when she tries to sound genuine, it just comes off as fake.
Lexi Verandas 6708 said, I don't have Instagram. I feel like I miss out on so much.
Trust me, mate, you're not missing out on anything. And if you feel like you are, go watch your ankle.
Well, you got picked for the random comment, so it looks like you're not missing out on much.
Amber, that has nothing to do with one another.
All right, now we're about to do Sippin' Community, where every single Monday I post, y'all ask me questions for my next Let's Talk on my community tab on YouTube. So I can go through, scroll through, we can have a conversation, I can answer some of your questions, so let's get into it.
She is aware she doesn't have to explain this every single time, right? Like, just get to the point.
Why do you not think you are the problem in every failed relationship you've had? I'm fully aware that I am the problem in some. I am not the problem at all.
Really? Because every single one of your partners would say otherwise, Amber. You have been broken up with every single one of them for legitimate reasons.
And where I am the problem, I have admitted to that ad nauseum.
No, you haven't. Not even close. And even when you do, there's always a justification or a reason why you act the way you do. Like, that's not taking accountability. That's not admitting your faults. That's you trying to justify your faults.
I just think that people villainize me so much that they're not able to see that there's also other people in the equation who also are a problem.
No, we can definitely see the faults in other people. The thing is, you are 99% of the problem. Like, that 1%, their fault, we can hold them accountable for that 1%, but the overwhelming majority of the problems lie on you.
How can you expect people to believe things you say when you've been caught lying multiple times? People think I'm lying about things that I am 100% truthful on, and it's exhausting at this point. Even when I prove something, people are still like, oh, she's lying. So it's like, even if I have proof, no matter what I say, people will believe what they want. But if people think I'm nothing but a liar, then why are you watching? Have I lied to protect people that I love and care about? Yes, I have. But when it comes to me, I don't give a fuck. I literally have nothing to lose at this point.
Hate to break to you, mate, most people don't follow you because they don't believe you. Most people follow you because you're a form of entertainment. You are a drama piece. That's all it is. Like, you're a reality TV show, just low budget. And you are a cautionary tale of the boy who cried wolf. You have lied so much that nobody can trust you. Unless, they're very dense or very gullible. That is completely on you, and that is your fault, because you chose to lie in the first place. And it doesn't matter the reason why you lied, you still lied.
Do you ever get tired of talking about yourself constantly? Have you ever considered a hobby outside obsessing about yourself? I do. I get so tired of talking about myself, but this is my job.
It's your job because you made it your job. You made talking about yourself, your life, and filming your daily life a job.
So, hi, I have to do that.
No, actually you don't. You can rebrand if you want. And you said it yourself, it doesn't matter if you get 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers. You will still do YouTube because it's a passion as well as a job. And if you want to rebrand, sure, you might lose subscribers, you might lose views, but you're still doing what you love, right? It isn't about the money, right? Or was that just another lie?
But genuinely, I'm having a struggle bus of a time even doing my weekly vlog this week because I literally just do not want to talk about myself. But I set up the schedule and I'm trying to keep it for you guys. As for hobbies, I have so many hobbies.
Wow, 2 weeks of having a basic schedule and she's already failing. Who would have thought?
I am a hobby girly and I go through a lot of fixations. That's just how I've always been. But one thing that someone cannot say about me is Amberlynn doesn't have hobbies and that she needs to get one because I definitely do. Probably too many hobbies.
Alright, so if you're so focused on your hobbies, why are you thinking about food? To the point where you need to have intermittent fasting so that you don't think about it. You should be preoccupied with all your time on hobbies and work. What's the fasting for? Also, why do you spend so much time, going into reaction channels or watching videos and all this other stuff when you should be focused on your hobbies in the first place?
Please clear up this rumor that you have never done follow-up care post-hysterectomy. You can literally just go back and look at the vlogs because I filmed a lot of my cancer journey. Of course, there's a lot that I kept out. But when I would have a CT scan follow-up, I would be vlogging. I'd be like, yeah, I just had my CT scan. Here how it went. When I was vlogging, I'd be like, yeah, I just had my CT scan. Here's how it went. I'm really nervous, etc., etc. I gave a lot of updates.
Okay, but that isn't proof. You saying something doesn't make it true. And again, you have admitted to lying. So why should we believe you?
I have always done the follow-ups for my cancer. I have always done the follow-ups after my hysterectomy. That is something that I did not mess with.
Right, that's the one thing you choose not to mess with. You refuse to go to the ER, you refuse to go to a gynecologist, you refuse to get mammograms, you refuse to stay to a diet, to take weight loss medication, to take your medication for your depression or your anxiety, you refuse to go to therapy, you refuse to do all of these things, but that one thing that you don't even document, you don't mess with, and people need to believe you.
Why do you always start beef with your partner's mothers? There was no beef, as you call it, between Tommy's mom and me or Feline's mom and me, Crystal's mom and me. I'm not going to get into the whole Beck and Destiny, the mom situation between that. But yeah, there was some rough stuff going on there. But at the end of the day, there was also a lot of love. And I have proof of that.
You had issues with Casey's mom, Beck's mom, and Destiny's mom, but I don't know much about, Crystal. I think she may potentially, she did have a bit of an attitude whenever Wanda didn't want to cook, so I can assume maybe had a bit of an attitude, which, not surprising there. You didn't really know much about Emily. You didn't really know much about Erica, or Wifey, or for that matter, Wifey's mom. So I can only assume, you didn't really have much of a relationship to, ruin there.
Why do you think all of your relationships end up failing? I'm only going to speak on my side of things, definitely because I don't know how to regulate. I get too extreme, too attached, too obsessed for a lack of a better word. I'm extremely sensitive and I have had controlling habits in the past.
Yeah, funny how that works. You're impulsive to the point where your emotions are too extreme to control, so you abuse your partners, but you're also incredibly sensitive at the same time. So the slightest dig at you, or even not a dig, like you could perceive it as a dig, and you'll just fly off the handle, most likely. But you have to be respected at all times while not respecting your partners. Like typical narcissist.
All right, now we're on to the interview.
And straight up, like just the 180 in attitude. Like, yeah, I was so controlling, but on to the next one.
And this is where you can go to my Instagram and send me a voice memo asking any question that you want. So my Instagram is Hectic Amby, which you will see right here. If you don't have the option to send me a voice memo, send me a little microphone emoji and I will accept your request so you can then send me the voice memo.
I also want to point out the irony of Amber talking about how, she doesn't want to talk about herself. If she could do something else, she would, but this is just her job. This entire video is a Q&A. Like, that's all it really is. 10 minutes in, and it's a Q&A.
So I am choosing at random. I will be choosing old voice memos from last week, and I'll be choosing new ones as well. So you always have a chance to be picked. So it's not like, oh, you sent me one weeks ago, you might not get picked. It's always going to be completely at random.
Okay, so my question is, if you could choose one reaction channel to eliminate, not from live, from YouTube.
Although I'm willing to bet she probably would if she could.
From talking about you. They voluntarily choose to stop talking about you. Who would it be and why? And
I just want to point out the big old smirk on Amber's face right now. Like, this is the perfect question for a narcissist. Like, hey, if you could control someone to the point where they are doing what you want voluntarily, which is quit YouTube, would you do it and who would you do it on? Like, ultimate power trip for a narcissist.
I feel like it would be Snowflake, but tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh my God. That's actually a really freaking good question.
Oh, I bet it is, Amber. You really like the idea of manipulating people and getting them to do what you want, don't you?
More than likely, I would choose Snowflake or the Ankle because they're the two that take really serious situations that have happened to me in my life and they say that I'm lying about it. Or they take situations and they make it into something like huge and massive that isn't even real. And they plant a label on me that is damaging and completely false.
I have watched a couple videos from both Mr. Snowflake and the Ankle, and what they do is take your videos, specifically clips from your videos of you doing something wrong, give an opinion on it, and then back it up with said clip. So if your actions are backing up the labels that they are giving you, the problem isn't them labeling you, it's you. You're the problem. You shouldn't be doing what you're doing, which allows them to give you the label of what is destroying your image. Quotations. Like, you are actively destroying your own image by doing what you do and then posting it on the internet. Also, saying that they are lying about you when Mr. Snowflake takes clips of you lying and contradicting yourself isn't them lying, it's them providing evidence of you lying. Like, it's your own fault. Also, if you're an abuser, you're an abuser. If you're a narcissist, you are a narcissist. Like, accept it for what it is. Just because you don't want to accept reality doesn't mean we don't have to.
I don't mind a reaction channel. Nitpick all you want. Like, I really don't care. But when it comes to like the deeper shit, like that should just be left alone.
Well, that's the thing. If you lie about the small stuff, what's going to stop you from lying about the big stuff? And if you constantly contradict yourself throughout all of your very deep shit, maybe there's a reason why you're contradicting yourself.
Hey Amberlynn, this is my third attempt at this voice note. I'm going to try my best not to swear either. I've been watching This Is Some Context for like 7+ years. I also have BPD. I've done some very bad things in my life, which I regret. I've changed, etc.
I genuinely relate to that.
I am willing to bet Amber straight up wet herself when she heard this audio clip because this justifies her actions. Like, oh, someone else with BBT, they do bad things too? Oh my god, another person just like me. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other people, not only in my audience, but Amber's audience too, that say, hey, I have BPD. I haven't done these things, or I have BPD, but I tried to actively better myself instead of defending it by saying that I have BPD and my emotions cannot be controlled.
And sometimes it's really hard because I think you're a very likable person, but you all
Thank you.
to do really messed up stuff. I guess like what I'm trying to get at is I want to really believe that you regret those things and you want to change because, you know, I know how hard it can be. And I think my question would be like, if you could change one thing, like one situation in your life that you think has steered you in the wrong direction, what would you have changed, and where do you think you could be in life now had you acted differently or done something differently, or maybe you wouldn't change anything? I don't know.
I got a better question. Why do people focus on Amber when they ask these questions? It's like, hey, you did all this messed up shit, but if you can change one thing, where would you be? What about her exes? Like, what would Beck's mental health be if Amber didn't abuse him? What would Destiny be doing if Amber didn't ruin their life at 19? What would, Casey be doing right now if Amber didn't falsely accuse him of grape?
Normally when people ask this question, it's very much like, what do you wish wouldn't have happened to you that would make your life different now? But I took your question as like, what do you wish you wouldn't have done? If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but that's kind of what I got out of it.
Well, if you weren't sitting there nodding your head, sucking your own narc ego, you would understand that's exactly the question they were asking.
And for me, it's without a doubt the controlling nature that I had with Beck. Like sometimes I look back at it and I'm just like, wow, I regret that with every single part of me.
I mean, at least you could take some accountability, even if you couldn't answer the question fully.
Wow, I can't believe I actually get to talk to you. Hi.
Hello.
And you are right when you say people who publicly
I just heard your kitty.
leave you good comments do get bashed. Because I am one of them.
Oh.
But I don't care when people say nasty things to me. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, you poor thing. Absolutely horrible that people that support abusers get criticized.
I feel bad about it because it's like people don't deserve that. I'm glad that you have that like strong nature about you, but it's just like I feel horrific because some people don't have that strength,
If you're someone who supports Amber, you might be strong-willed, but you're very just stupid, like very unintelligent. Probably like 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place type level stupidity.
Okay, let me keep listening, sorry.
But my question for you is, what is one thing that you have said out loud to the public that you wish you could have taken back? Or maybe one thing you have done that you wish you could have taken back? And by the way, I love you. Please don't ever stop making videos and always ignore the haters.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love you too.
Yeah, it's people like this who enable your bad behavior and allow you to suck your own narc ego that keep you in the mindset that you are. Like, who is going to defend Amber all people? Like, very low IQ people.
So I think one thing that I wish I would have never shared was the abusive relationship that I was in when I was a teenager. Without a doubt, I wish I would have never, ever vocalized that.
Notice that she said vocalized, meaning she didn't want to speak about it. Not that she regrets it, just that she didn't want to speak about it because, rain and petals eavesdrop, I used the wrong word.
Okay, hey Amberlynn.
Hello, hello.
This is Kate. You can totally keep my name in the video.
Screw off, Kate.
Because shout out to my friends, Miranda, Jesse, Annie, Sarah. We all love watching you so much. Also, me and my husband Stefan love watching you.
Aww.
Okay, to the question.
All those people could screw off too.
I know we are not dating anyone right now. Fuck all of these girls.
Fuck them all.
If you had to describe your dream date, what would it be? Where would you go? Tell me everything.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go into like a fairy tale land. Okay. What it would look like is like we're in Vegas and my stamina is better. So like we're going to take that out of the equation. Okay. So we're in Vegas and maybe we're doing a little bit of casino this and maybe just like walking around and doing a little adventure of this. And there's just lots of flirting and there's lots of like touching and there's a lot of laughter, chemistry. And then there's like dinner and you're like sitting and talking, getting to know each other and you're doing the googly eyes. And then afterwards, maybe you go get a drink somewhere. And again, there's more just like hot passion. If you know, you know. And then after that, maybe there's like a hotel or we go back to Well, yeah, it would be a hotel because I don't live in Vegas. I don't think the person I'm dating lives in Vegas. So there would be a hotel. We go back there and there's more googly eyes, laughter, getting to know each other, and then you know what goes down. I don't know. I'm very just like laid back. I just want to have fun. I love going out, doing things, and I genuinely feel like I just described my most recent relationship. That's weird. Besides, we weren't in Vegas, but regardless.
So long story short, 4 out of the 5 vices. 1, gambling. 2, drinking. 3, codependency. 4, food.
That's my real authentic answer, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Sweetie, you're 1 sugarcoating away from being 600 pounds. You can't afford to do that.
Hi, Amberlynn. I'm currently in university getting my degree in English, and I was wondering, if you went back to college, what would you want to study?
Well, that's awesome. Congrats to you. You're gonna do great. For me, I definitely would study psychology because I have always been very interested in the human mind.
Didn't she study psychology but gave up before she finished because it wasn't her passion and she was forced into it, but now she wants to go back? I mean, probably to be a better manipulator.
I like to know, why do we do these things? Why is our brains like this? Tell me more. Like when I was going to college, psychology was my all-time favorite class.
Really? That's not what you said in the past?
Hi, Amberlynn. I'm messaging from Scotland in the UK.
Wow.
And my question is, why do you think everyone believes everything that Beck has to say? Because I don't believe any of it. I believe you.
Probably because Amber's a liar, Beck has been more truthful, there's a repeat history of abuse, and Amber doesn't show any evidence while Beck shows evidence for some stuff. Like, not every single thing they have is proof, but they certainly got enough proof to be considered truthful.
Oh my god, the tea. Damn, girl.
Right, acting like she didn't listen to that beforehand.
It's just easier. It's just more fun. It's more entertainment. People want to see me in a bad light. So in any way that they can do that, they're going to do that. And that includes believing anyone that comes out against me, even if it's hogwash.
But you want people to believe you without any evidence whatsoever. Like, that's interesting, isn't it, Amber?
And honestly, I feel like sometimes people don't even believe Beck, but they just say they do just to continue the narrative that Amberlynn is the most awful person in the whole entire world. But I just want to say thank you, and also thank everyone else who doesn't fall into that trap. All right, you guys, now it's time for tea or tale.
Which is exactly my point. Like, thank you to everyone who believes me without any evidence.
This is going to be a time for me to address rumors that I see floating around the community. I'm going to either tell you, yes, that's tea, or no, that's tale.
Let me guess, every single one of them is not true, they're all tales, and you know what? Amber is in fact a victim and just misunderstood.
Amberlynn has not been diagnosed with BPD because she said in her live stream that the psychologist told her she needs to see a specialist. So I was seeing a psychologist for about 9 months, and it was around the 8-month mark where I was finally diagnosed with BPD. So when I expressed that psychologist said I'd need to see a specialist, it is because they wanted me to heal from BPD, and they did not work with BPD patients in that way. Yes, I was absolutely diagnosed. It's just the psychologist who diagnosed me didn't specialize in BPD. When you are diagnosed with BPD, you do not have to be diagnosed by a person who specializes in it, but to heal from it and to do therapy for it, it is better to see someone who specializes for it. So that is what I meant. So obviously that is tale.
Wow, surprising. I was right.
When the AirPod is in Amberlynn's ear, that means she is in a relationship. That is obviously tale because that doesn't even make sense. Because if you go back and look at vlogs when I was in a relationship with Feline, I either had the Beats headphones, I had an AirPod in my ear at all times. Literally, that is genuinely just because I don't like the silence. I always have to be listening to something.
Again, repeat history of lying. Why should we believe you? And yes, you do in fact do that. Quite a lot in fact, Amber.
Amberlynn is an alcoholic. Tale, and a very offensive one at that. Just because I have 2 or 3 White Claws once a week during a live stream does not make me an alcoholic. When I go on my live stream, I genuinely feel like I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends. So does that mean people who are like out having fun with their friends or even just in their home a couple times a week, they just have a couple drinks just to feel a little buzz? Does that make them an alcoholic? No. I have voiced my concerns with alcohol in the past, and I'm telling you, it is not like that. The only time I drink is when I am on live stream, and I didn't even drink last night for my live stream. I don't have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol, so that does not make me an alcoholic. And I think it's offensive to those who actually do struggle. And it's also painful for me because of what I grew up with. I grew up with a bunch of addicts and alcoholics.
Yeah, except Amber, it's not the same thing. You're not talking to your friends, you're not hanging out with your friends, you're alone by yourself, broken up with, at your most vulnerable and alone, drinking by yourself. Not the same thing.
All right, you guys, it is time for bad choices. That's where I take 5 of these cards. They're very hectaconic questions, so let's get into it. So I'm just gonna choose 5 random ones just to get them going. So here we go. Oh. All right, that's 5. All right, first one is, have you ever been punched in the face? That is a yes.
If I'm not mistaken, Destiny's mom as well as Amberlynn have both done that.
Second one, would you get a lot of enjoyment from being a member of the opposite sex for a day? If it's only for a day, then yes.
Yeah, I can assure you, if you were a man for 24 hours, you'd be on your way to prison.
Do you think that you will age well? No, probably not.
You got that right.
Have you ever had more than 8 shots in one night? Probably like once or twice.
And yet one White Claw is enough to make it tipsy.
Would you spend the night in a full porta potty for $10,000?
I have been in porta potties before, and I don't believe for a second Amber could even fit in one.
Ooh, I don't know. Let me think. I hate a porta potty, but $10,000 is really good. I think I would. I would literally sit in there and I just scroll Instagram. I don't know. Maybe vlog. So that is the end of this Let's Talk. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I know that I did. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Alrighty guys, it's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully get to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.